Hello, we're here at Resourcing Tomorrow 2025. Joining me in the Proactive studio is Ted Elwood. He's the CEO of Peloton Minerals. Ted, very good to speak with you again. So what brings you to the conference this year?
Well, we've been here for several years in a row now, and we have a number of shareholders that have been developed in this part of the world. So it's good to catch up with them again and update them on what our progress has been, which has been significant over the past year. And there's considerable amount of new investor interest. And so the last couple of days, I think I've had about 15 meetings per day, and there's still a day and a half to go. So hopefully I have a speaking voice left after I'm done.
Sounds very productive. So what's the story you're telling investors, Ted?
Well, it's we've got a big lithium clay deposit project in northeastern Nevada. It's a district scale deposit. Some of the deposits of similar type in Nevada have been turned out to be the biggest in the world. Lithium Americas, for example, is the biggest lithium and clay deposit in the world. We have geology that is almost identical. We got interested in the clay in Nevada because a company called Surge Battery Metals discovered the highest grade lithium clay deposit right beside us, right on mining claims that we had for a number of years. We have a very prospective uranium project there, and to our surprise, they discovered lithium, as I say, right beside us. So, that caused us to start to rethink our geology and the potential opportunity in the area. We knew that there was the same kind of clay all over our property and to the east of Surge. So that was in early 23. So 2023 became a staking exercise, and we were out there putting in a lot of claims. We now have 450 claims. We have about 37 square kilometers is the current ground position, which is almost rivaling the Surge size. And since then we've done an extensive amount of surface work, airborne hyperspectrals, airborne mag surveys, surface soil geochemistry, mapping, sampling, surface geophysics, and all of it tells us that we've got a clay bed underneath the property, close to surface, that's roughly 35 square kilometers. So if you think of a 35 square kilometer pancake that's underneath our property, that's the target, and so that's big. And we've now started our initial maiden drill program.
So it was about 2 weeks ago you announced that.
Yeah, exactly. So we're underway on that program. We haven't completed the holes yet, but on the early going, we've hit clay in every hole, which is what we were hoping or expected to hit. And so I'm thankful that that our geophysics is accurate. And so we've got to finish this program and then get the samples ready and submit it for assay. That probably will take until the end of January, but we're very hopeful and very optimistic about what we see so far in the drilling. It's checking all the boxes in terms of what we wanted to see, and when we get these assays back, assuming that they are successful, we are thinking that they're going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of what Surge's grades are, or Lithium Americas, which is a little bit lower, either which is fine. The thing is, we've got size from what we know from the geophysics, and that 35 square kilometer pancake, if you superimpose that over the top of Lithium Americas project, it's the same size.
Yeah.
So there's great potential upside. There's great interest in how those turn out. Assuming we're successful, we'll immediately go towards a second follow-on drill program. We're already permitted for 24 drill pads. We're just drilling 4 holes right now, but they are widely spaced holes, like they're 7 kilometers apart, and so we're swinging for the fences, I guess you want to say. But like I say, we're already permitted for the next phase. So we'll immediately move to that. That would be about a $3 to $5 million program. We've certainly got the interest here at the show to do that, very quickly once we get something further to work with.
So I was going to ask you about your financial runway as you do move forward with this program. Have you got the financial muscle to do it?
Yeah, so we've been careful or selective in terms of raising money. We're careful of the dilution. We raised $1 million in 2024, which was enough to do all that surface work that was important that I talked about, that you really want to do before you go in there with a drill.
Yeah.
So we did all of that. This year we raised another $1 million. We just closed that at the beginning of November. So that's enough for the drill program, and let's say that we didn't do anything until next, it'd carry us until next summer without doing any more drilling, but we think in all likelihood the follow-on program is going to be front and center as soon as we get this information back. And like I say, 3 to 5 million would be the next program. We think we could raise that fairly quickly once we have the information. And so next year when I return here, I'm expecting to have 25 or 40 holes to report and be a lot further along than what we were. Although, Surge only discovered their deposit in early 2023. And so we're only like a year and a half since then, and we're already at the stage that we're at. So we're moving very quickly.
Well, I look forward to that conversation in a year's time, Ted. Thank you very much for the update today.
Yep, thank you again. Yep.
Ted Elwood is the CEO of Peloton Minerals.